Well, good morning. It's Wednesday, November 6th, 2024, and welcome to episode 800 of the Lots Project Morning Show, where the coffee's strong, the opinions are stronger, and everything is always filter-free. I'm Brian, your host, and today I'm enjoying a light Ethiopian, a fantastic light Ethiopian right here in my cup. foodforestfarms.com, where you get 10% off with discount code LOTS10, and the shipping is always free. While you're there, check out the C4 Club and consider joining today or picking up a C4 Club membership for a friend, a family member, a loved one, or someone else. It's a great gift. It's a great thing to treat yourself to, and you will be rewarded every month when you get that coffee package in the mail. So sign up today at foodforestfarms.com. Good morning. Today we'll be talking about an odd street sign placement with Corey and I came across last night. A nice barn score for the new property, whether that ends up being our cabin or Tim's or someplace else on the property. And Corey weighs in. Corey weighs in on the election last night. Kind of. You'll have to wait for that one just a little bit. But before that, let's go see who's hanging out in the live chat, see who's hanging out with the coffee crew, and we'll hang out for about an hour. Good morning. Rewilder Life says fresh Ethiopians in your cup. Maybe. It's a light Ethiopian in my cup. Good morning, Seattle in first. I'm glad I did my part. The margin to get the margin high enough for a popular vote. I won the hard ways. Yay, I'm helping. Pip says, greetings and salutations. Good morning, Pip. Hope you had a good day yesterday. It looked like you had a little pew-pew fun. Good morning, Canadian Farmstead. Happy all-time high to you. And to you, sir. Congratulations on the proper duck pick yesterday, day before. I don't know if it was the duck pick or the pick that the folks made yesterday to help Bitcoin there. Seattle. Good morning, Seattle. Morning hugs all around. Good morning, Jeremiah. Thanks for the Ethiopian comment. Rewilder Life. Good morning, Seattle. This is knock cackles. Got a headache and went back to bed, I guess. Good morning, Take the Ride. Good morning, Off Grid Ping. Thank you. Canadian Farm said, pretty sure it was the Donald Duck pick. I mean, I was sitting there yesterday watching the alerts come in from I don't know, whatever coin tracker was lighting up, and I was like, I don't even think I need to watch the live election results. I'll just watch the Bitcoin price and let you know as states come in. Canadian Farmstead said if that actually happened, haven't looked, just assumed. I think it must have. I got a notification that Bitcoin went north of 75. It was while I was occupied. We went over to friends for dinner last night, and when I pulled my phone out, it was like Bitcoin went above 73, above 74, above 75, up like 8% in the last 24 hours. Blah blah blah, whole thing. And by the time I had jumped on, it was back 74-ish. What it was the all-time high? Wasn't it 73 and change? I don't even know. It's just on the way up, in my opinion. So all-time high is just another step to the next all-time high. Right? It's like getting hooked on meth. Off-Grid Ping says, what the fuck? I think I was on the vertical feed. Well, Canadian Farm says 73.7, I think. Well, right now it's at 74.533, so that would be more than 70. Good morning, Courtney Baker. How are you doing? Courtney Baker? Thanks for stopping by. Canadian farce. Oh, Off-Grid Pig don't know where he's at. That's all right, guys. We'll clear up this. We'll clear up all the channel confusion come Monday. What a great Buffett song. You guys into Jimmy Buffett? Yeah. Well, come Monday is great song. Reed's Rabbitry over on Noster. Thanks for the comment. Appreciate that. Courtney's doing great now. What do you have planned for the morning, Courtney? We're gonna straighten everything out on Monday. We'll be down to just the morning show stream channel. We'll knock down. We'll take down the main feed come Monday morning. And go just to the morning show feed and Noster, and depending on how many zaps Reed's Rabbitry sends me in this show or the rest of the week will determine whether we end up back on Twitch or not. And I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to tell him if it's he zaps more. I'll put it back on Twitch, or if he doesn't zap, I'll put it back on Twitch. So we'll see. Rewild Life says ETH is up too. That's fantastic. for whoever has any. I stopped watching ETH. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. Can't do it. Courtney says, sadly, work is on her agenda today. Well, I hope the morning show makes your workday better, Courtney. Canadian Farmstead says they all rise with Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, really, if you have been looking to find a good opportunity to switch out of, say, ETH or another shitcoin or something else you've had and move it into Bitcoin, and you're trying to do a little arbitrage there with, one up, one down. It is. They all kind of been ebbing and flowing lately. Rewilder Life says we have some. It's where the crypto millionaires we know made their money. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people that made their money off of ETH. It went from nothing to what it is now. I just don't see it going for the best in the future. I don't. I mean, maybe it has functionality. Smart contracts are becoming a thing everywhere. Actually, last night it's not have to do with smart contracts, but my friend Norman showed me or explained to me, and then I dug into it a little later. Have you guys, the Noster folks, have you guys heard of NPub Pro? So this thing is pretty sweet, where it can take your Noster feed and basically turn it into a website. I haven't put my eyes on the final product, but he kind of walked me through what happens. And basically, you set it up to where you can choose specific hashtags. You can choose one or multiple, I believe. And when you put that hashtag in your Noster post, it actually populates it into a web page format. We were discussing the possibilities of that. It looked pretty sweet. So, man, the guys on Noster, the devs over on Noster are churning shit out just unbelievably. There's actually, it was last night. I think it was last night, maybe tonight. There was a Bitcoin meetup a Noster meetup that I really wanted to attend in Nashville at Bitcoin Park. I wasn't able to justify it since I have to make a long trip to go get some solar panels. I got, it was just it's a busy time, and it didn't make sense to drive 2 hours one way for a short little event. But It would have been cool. I would have really enjoyed going, but it just wasn't in the cards at this point. Hopefully, the next one they spin up over at Bitcoin Park. Bitcoin Park will be great. Hunter says, I can't customize the zaps. And says that sounds like a concept for next block. Are you talking about the NPub Pro, or are you talking about customizing zaps? Pip says organizing door latch strikers, exciting day. Might even get to the hood latches. Nice. Did everybody stay up and watch the election results? I had the results map early. It was released to me through channels of folks that I Noun Pro. Reweiler said no, I went to bed. Yeah, just put up the map that I had earlier in the evening. It didn't even take half the votes to be secured. Hey, statism won. It worked again, guys. The country picked a leader. No more free men. Anyway, a little update on the local races here. You know, we had I've talked about it a little bit. I was kind of following along, paying attention because it was small town politics, and it got kind of nasty at some points in the Facebook groups, and people shouting each other down and calling out like really below the belt kind of stuff. It got dirty here in the small town for the mayoral election and the alderman elections. Two takeaways I have is they didn't like the guy that was in there, and a small faction of the town voted for the standing mayor, and the rest of them voted for the ex-mayor from a while back. He's the new mayor. There was quite a few people excited about that. The neighbor here that was running for alderman that has all the yard art that went on the vendetta against the small business that was across the street from them. You know, I was curious. I was curious if how she would do. Like, do the majority of the people in town complain about the shit in their yard? They say it's disgusting. They want people to take it down. I'm like, hey, you know, they have the right to do whatever the fuck they want in their yard. But I was curious if how she'd do in the election when it was private, when it was you could maybe support her. Maybe you didn't like the bar being in the town. Maybe that was against your religious principles, because that seems like a big thing around here. Is everybody wants to be in everybody's fucking business about what they're doing. Maybe there was a silent group. So I think there's like 500 people in town, maybe. I saw somebody posted their alderman election results in the Facebook group, and I think she got 23 votes. You could vote for up to 3 or 4. She didn't win, let's just say. It went the way that I felt that it was going to, just from being an outside observer and not knowing all these people in depth, but just from the bickering and the fighting online. I think the loudest voice won, basically. Maybe not necessarily the right person to run the town, but it sounds like after the election, so they had their monthly board meeting on last night, which was odd. Like, the cops were around town all day. Like, the sheriff was doing circles. Like, I think they thought there was going to be melees here in Saltillo, and I mean, they have every right to. The sitting mayor at one point in the last 9 months had been arrested for getting in a fight on Main Street, and the ex-mayor definitely had been arrested for fighting. So I think the cops were just like on high alert for either way the election goes. There might be some fisticuffs, but I didn't hear anything about it. But my head's in the sand still. If it wasn't on Facebook, I haven't found out yet. But anyway, yeah, it was an interesting election day for us. We went over, like I said, to friends. They're getting ready to take off out of town for a while, and not going to see them, and so invited us over for dinner. And we were sitting there chatting, and just to preface, the one of my friends is an ex-state representative, so kind of into politics, like really into politics, like still involved in politics. So it's a very interesting dynamic when I go over, and he full well knows my thoughts and feelings on the issue. And then there's Corey, who doesn't give a flying shit about any of it. Like literally, I hate the state. I pay attention to the state, but I don't participate. I think it's bullshit. Corey just literally does not give a shit. Doesn't care. And so last night, being election night, I don't know where it came from. It was kind of out of the blue. We talked a little bit about election stuff in passing, and I just kind of ribbed him and gave him a bunch of shit like I usually do about it. And all of a sudden, Corey goes, "Who is Trump running against?" And I turned my head and I looked at her and I was like, she's dead fucking serious. I love this woman. I love her for a lot of reasons, but holy shit, she did not know. Like, honestly, in her heart, she wasn't sure if Biden was still running. Hunter says it sounds like she's actually living outside the system. Yeah, she's living in Corey land for sure. And I think Corey land's a really nice place to be. Yeah, she said, "Who is Trump running against?" They did her job with her. They really campaigned. Like, I think she was probably not the target market of the political campaigns, but the fact that she didn't know the second candidate, I mean, I guess there was a handful of other write-ins and third parties and things like that. But I'm very proud. I'm very proud of my wife that she had no fucking clue. I mean, it shouldn't have been a surprise to me. From the time I've met her, she's just not interested at all. Doesn't care. Yeah. She's fantastic. She's fantastic. So anyway, that was Corey weighing in on the election last night. I did kind of peek in on it just for information's sake. And then I went to bed. I was like, it doesn't fucking matter. I honestly didn't think that it would be is it over? You guys can tell me. I don't know. I just did a quick search this morning, and it said that they called it for the Orange Man. And I see a bunch of fucking liberals freaking out, and I see a bunch of MAGA guys like getting all excited. Like, booyah! We did it! And I'm like, oh my god. Yep, that is exactly the reaction I would expect. America! We saved America! Canadian Farmstead says, I guess Corey didn't know this was the most important election of her lifetime. Corey, it was the most important election of your lifetime. What? She said, bummer, I missed it. We'll get you caught up for next time, all right? Pip says, go sports team. Right? So is it done? Like, is this shit over? Because I see a lot of people especially on Noster, that profess that they don't normally vote, but they're going to vote for Trump because he promised. He promised to free Ross Ulbricht. Now, I definitely think that should happen. Don't get me wrong. When did he say he was going to do it? Because in my experience, pardons and that type of thing usually help happen on the way out, on a president's way out. Is Ross in jail for another 4.5 years? Good morning. Seattle said free Ross. Why I voted. And what if he doesn't? Are you going to not elect him again? Corey also stumped me with a question yesterday and asked me if Trump could run twice. And I couldn't remember if when they passed the term limit amendment, if it was consecutive or total. So I had to look it up. Good morning. Seattle says, then he's a liar. We know he's a liar. We know he's a liar. Yeah, Canadian. I know. I looked it up. It's 2 total. It's actually 1.5 if you take over and serve more than 2 years of a prior term. You can only run once. So Canadian Farm said, even I knew it was a 2-term limit. Okay. So when was that amendment passed? Huh? Have we ever had a president that served more than 2 terms? Have we recently had any presidents that had an election then didn't serve and then got elected again? Huh? Fucking Doge. You go ahead and dump all your you go sell all your Bitcoin and put it in Doge, Brian. But I don't know. Pardons and what the fuck is the other when they reverse the communions? Fuck. I don't know. Anyway, when is he going to do this? When is Canadian Farm says I still don't know what Doge does. Doge, do you really want to know? They made a lot of money off the movies about what Doge does. Use your VPN when you watch the movies too. Anyway. So yesterday on the way over to our friend's house for dinner, we took a back way. We had to make a stop on the way over. We were taking a back route, and it was starting to get a little dark, as it does here in the when we stopped saving daylight. And as we were pulling up this back road, Corey's like, there's stop sign there. It's like Tennessee roads, if you've never experienced them, are up and down and twisty and all around, and you never really know where they're going to go next. And so the headlights are shining up, and you see a stop sign, and Corey's like, see that stop sign? It's nice and white. It was a white stop sign, which was odd enough. But then as we came up to the intersection, and I'm slowing down and I'm getting ready to stop at the stop sign, we realized that the stop sign is on the other side of the street. So we were on the road and we were coming up to a T, and the stop sign was across the road. So literally, if you were a normal human being and you were used to stopping by normal traffic controls, a stop sign on the corner before where you're supposed to stop, you would end up in the fucking right in the middle of the intersection. Now, I'm guessing this isn't an extremely high traffic area. It was probably like a 45 mile an hour zone. Actually, in Tennessee, it was probably like an 80 mile an hour zone, because I think Corey actually came up with the theory that they just put up whatever random speed signs that they have, whatever speed limit signs. So, hey, we got a 55 mile an hour zone. Let's put it right out here outside the school. Or here we got a 30 mile an hour zone, speed limit sign. Let's put it 6 miles outside of town on the way in, where there's a sprinkling of houses, and you need to slow down from 55 to 30 for the next 3 miles. Drive yourself insane. This stop sign, not only was it white, it was across the road from where you needed to stop. So I don't know what the hell is going on here. I think people just drive wherever they want and however they want and avoid each other. This is like the guy honking at me for him being on my side of the road. I don't know. So that was interesting. I'll have to go back and I'll have to go over to their place that way again and really scope out this sign placement. Got big news on some hardware for Delinquent's Gully, whether that's going to be our cabin or Tim's cabin or the outside kitchen at Tim's cabin is yet to be seen. So we walk here on our road every day with the dogs. We walk about a 3/4 of a mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile out, 3/4 of a mile back in the morning. And right about where we end up turning around, there is like a lean-to barn. It's down on the backside of this guy's property. He just built a brand new house up there. Actually, it's the new mayor's son. Through roundabout, just meeting people and interacting with people in town, I got to know the guy that was running for mayor. If you remember, he bought the property. We were kind of eyeballing as we walked by it. We were like, "Oh man, this is an interesting property. It wouldn't be horrible." This was before we kind of decided what we were doing with Tim, and we were scoping places out. And I ended up talking to him at a totally different place, and found out that he bought it. Conversed with him a couple times. He drives up and down this road all the time, waves to us every time, very nice. And then he ran for mayor. Turns out I was talking to him one day, and they were building a new house at the end of the road, and he said it was his kid who was building the house. Yeah, so we're walking by this lean-to, and there's a tractor in there, like an old Ford tractor. There's the big tank, farm equipment to spray pesticides or fertilizer or whatever liquid you're spraying on the fields. There's one of those in there. And so a bunch and some other junk. And it's not like piled up all picker like or hoarder like. It's clean. Corey noticed through all the time we walked there. Corey noticed that there was a sink, stainless steel sink, and you can't really tell. I was hoping when she said it that it was like a big bar sink, like a big deep sink with the counter, the stainless steel counter and all that. From looking at it from the road, at least, I think it was just your normal. It's a normal double pan stainless sink that would be on a normal house or someplace. I don't think it's a big commercial stainless sink. But anyway, she's like, hey, that would be really nice to have for the outdoor kitchen at a minimum. And depending on what it actually is, how deep it is, where, what condition it's in, maybe have it for our cabin or something. And I was like, yeah, I'll send David a text and ask him if he's looking to get rid of it. And So I don't think it was that day. This was the next day or the day after we were walking down there, and there was a guy at the barn. And I wasn't sure that the barn actually went with the house that was built. The property lines here are kind of goofy. There's a driveway next to it that I really wasn't sure. I wasn't sure where it all went together. Like it could have just been somebody's little lean-to barn that they had next to the field to store their equipment. But there was a guy standing there, and I said, "Hey," I yelled from the road. I was like, "Hey, are you looking to get rid of your sink?" And he goes, "What do you want, the tractor?" Like, no, I don't need a tractor. You looking to get rid of that sink there? And he's like, "There's a sink there?" Yeah. He goes, "Well, it's not mine. It's my dad's. It's my dad's." And this guy's probably in his 30s or 40s, probably his 40s. I said, maybe 30s. I don't want to. If he listens to this, I don't want to. He's probably in his 30s. He's like, "That's my dad's." I was like, "Oh, is your dad David?" He's like, yeah. I was like, you let him know if he wants to get rid of that sink. He can send me a text message. This is Brian. We're staying in the camper down here on the corner. He knows who I am. Oh, okay. All right. Sounds good. I'll let him know. I'm not thinking I'm going to hear anything about this. I'm going to have to send David a message, which was no problem. Now that I knew that it was his, I was going to send him a message and say, "Hey, what do you want for the sink?" Hadn't really thought about it much. This was on Saturday. So yesterday we're walking and we're almost home. This SUV pulls up going down the road, and the guy slows down, and I'm expecting him to roll down his window, and he's like looking out the SUV, like waving me over to the door. And I had Norman, and like he'll jump up on a car. I think he gets really excited. He'll at minimum get them completely covered with slobber. And so we try not to get too close to the cars that stop and want to talk to us with the dogs, kind of stay back. And so he keeps waving over, and I'm like, "What the fuck does this guy want? Is he got free candy? Is he trying to buy my vote or something? Like, what's going on? Does he want me to get in the vehicle with him? This is weird." And so I open the door, and he's like, "Sorry, dude, my window doesn't work, but I wanted to let you know Dad said you can have the sink. Just go over and grab it whenever you want." So scored a sink. Now I'm happy the guy won for mayor because, he was a nice guy and gave us a sink, even though I couldn't even vote. It wasn't even a tip for tat or a favor. Well, we got ourselves a new sink. I gotta go down and actually see what condition it's in and actually how big it is. But can always use sink around, especially with all the projects we're going to be doing. And yeah, excited to get that. Sorry, guys. So that was fun. Yesterday got 7 interviews done. It was definitely it was a haul. It was a long haul. Started at 9:30 in the morning, and every bottom of the hour I started another half-hour interview until 3:30. Finished up at 4:00. It was a good test to see if it was what I really wanted to do, I think. I've adjusted my calendar. I have one more monster day like that next Tuesday. I got to do another 7. But going forward past that, I dialed in the calendar. I went to the calendar app and figured out all the ins and outs and settings to make it so basically I can do a maximum of 4. And in the intent for the heavy scheduling is by the end of next week, I'm pretty sure I will have enough recorded to put out episodes through the first of the year, I think. pretty close. Reed's Rabbitry over on Noster said, were you interviewing or were you... Shit, it's covered. Whoops. Were you interviewing or were you the interviewee? I was interviewing folks. It was for my new podcast that I started. The second episode actually comes out today called Director Detour. I talk to folks, talk to successful folks and hear about their stories, to how they got to where they're at. If it's not enough to fill 30 minutes, we talk about interesting stories about what they got going on. It was, let's see. All the interviews went well. Well, most of them went well. It's interesting to watch the motives of the people coming on the show. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist by any means, but you're pretty quick to gather if they read the messages I sent, if they understand the purpose of the show. I try to be very clear in the fact that they are going to be given ample opportunity to promote their stuff, to plug their stuff. Good morning, John Palmer, and good day to you, sir. That I'm going to give them plenty of opportunity at the end to plug their stuff. I completely understand that they're on Podmatch, that they're going on podcasts, they're going on interviews to promote something, to get exposure for some specific thing, whether it's if it's a new book, or if they're a coach, or if they have a business or whatever. Going on podcasts and getting interviewed is a fantastic advertising avenue. And with Podmatch being, for guest side, it's $30 a month or something like that. That's pretty cheap advertising when you can actually go on and be on quite a few podcasts just monthly. There's no limit to how many you can go on, I don't believe, on the guest side. But anyway, I would say 5 out of 7 yesterday were coming on with the understanding that this was about their journey to where they're at. And then we're happy to talk about the story and not really talk about what they got going on now, their coaching philosophy or whatever. And I really try to do my best to tie it in. Like, I do my due diligence. I look at their profile. I look at their website. I understand what they got going on. I understand what they want to promote. And I really try to pick at questions. And even if I can't tie it in, I definitely do a hard stop. And I'm like, hey, promote your stuff. Talk about your links. What do you got going on? Let people know where to find you. But I don't think I need to do half-hour interviews doing plugs for people's businesses. I'd rather talk about their story. I'd rather learn something from them and have the audience learn something from them. And the majority of the people get that. I try to be very clear in the messages I send them prior. I have stock messages that says these are some of the questions they're going to ask. This is the kind of the feel of the show. It went well. A couple of them didn't get the message. A couple of them, every answer they gave was trying to steer towards their current endeavors. And some, it was tough to get through the half hour. You'll see. Listen to the show as it comes out. The video notes and the audio notes from today's show have a link to the first episode that went out. I didn't update it because I was late getting home last night from friends. It's so the audio feed is there's a link for that down in the video description to the episode 1. Episode 2 released this morning. Episode 2 was a really, really interesting guy. Yeah, you'll have to listen to find out. Click on that. You can search Direct or Detour in any of the podcast players out there, any of the major feeds. You should find it, or you can go to patreon.com/direct or detour and join for free. The majority of all the content on the Patreon page is free. All you got to do is have a Patreon account and hit subscribe. And then as the show progresses, as the membership grows, as people are vested in the guests and want to hear more from them, whether that now be more about what they have going on or just in-depth conversations, I'll probably do some follow-up interviews, and that'll end up being premium content, I think. So we'll see how it goes. It's an experiment. It's always an experiment, and it's just getting rolling. But definitely be having episodes coming out between now and the first of the year. So all 15 to 30 minutes. I think I tipped. I haven't been under 20, I don't think. And I think I tipped over 30 maybe one or two times out of the first 10 episodes I recorded. It's hard. I feel like I'm just starting to get into knowing the person, even intentionally trying to keep it under half an hour. It's a tough time slot. But I'm getting there, getting better. Yesterday was good practice, and I got another 4 tomorrow and 7 next Tuesday again. So lots of editing to do. Satellite. I think it was the other person's fault this time. I don't think it was mine. I'll have to wait and go back and listen to the audio, and I'm hoping I don't have to dive into trying to nitpick, edit out a bunch of pauses and stuff from the internet. So we'll see. Guys, be careful on your social media postings. I don't think any of us have a following big enough to worry about this quite yet. Maybe. I saw a news story yesterday, posted October 18th, so it's a couple weeks old, but this is from the website justice.gov. This is the United States Attorney's Office, Eastern District of New York. Press release. You ready to be happy, guys? You ready to want to scratch your eyeballs out? I bet Trump will fix all this now that Trump's going to be the president. Press release. Headline: social media influencer Douglas Mackey sentenced after conviction for election interference in 2016 presidential race. Yep, this was the byline is Wednesday, October 18th, 2023. We're just convicting somebody for interfering in the 2016 presidential race. Defendant attempted to trick voters into believing they could vote by text message. For a sarcastic asshole seeing this, reading into it further, I'm not saying that they should have arrested him. I'm not saying they should have convicted him, but they did do a pretty good job of finding evidence that he was doing it on purpose to get people to think that they could text in their vote. I'm here as a person saying, if someone is willing to believe that they can text by or vote by text, maybe we shouldn't be giving them the responsibility of voting. If they're able to be persuaded to do something that is obviously not something that is viable, what are they believing in political campaigns? It's like, should you have to pass a test? There's something. That's why I don't fucking participate. Literally, if I went and casted a ballot, there's someone that could believe a social media post that says you can text your vote in, and that person has the same sway as someone that that does their due diligence, that does their research, that knows as much as they can. Because, like we talked about earlier, politicians are liars. Weird. So you can only know what you can know going in. I don't know. I think it's a broken system on so many different levels. Just fucking broken. If you participate, you participate. I'm glad. I think that some people that are in it for the local makes sense. I think that the people here in town could have probably swayed the vote in a town of 500. Your vote matters at that point. Brian was saying that he was helping the popular vote. There was no chance in hell that that Trump was going to win in Washington State. My conversion into a abstaining from participating in the process took place in Minnesota, where 80% of the land mass voted for one person and the state voted for the other one. We've talked about it before. It happens in all the cities. The rural it leans more one way, and the cities lean another way. But that really kind of soured me on the whole thing as I progressed in looking into voting and the whole process. I understand the whole need for the Electoral College. I understand it. I understand the arguments against it. I understand the arguments for it. It is indifferent. But the fact that it didn't matter, it really didn't matter who I voted for. Like, seriously didn't matter. Really, when you start thinking about not participating, it makes it easy. So, yay. Did she win Minnesota? I saw that it was up in the air for a while, and that was really the MO. Even back when I was paying attention greatly, was it would be a red. It would be light red. When they do the political maps and they make them different colors depending on how much of the votes come in. All the outstate votes come in, and it'll be red, like light pink, and then all of a sudden Minneapolis, Rochester, Duluth, and St. Cloud votes come in, and it goes hard blue. Gets everybody's hopes up for a little. I think the last president to win, the last Republican to win Minnesota was Reagan in his big landslide, and Minnesota actually voted against Mondale, and he was from there. So I was hoping it was going to be a repeat with old Timmy Walls, because that guy was just a living piece of shit when we lived in Minnesota and lived through his COVID management. I was going to really feel sorry for the country if that man was in office. He doesn't deserve to be there. He didn't deserve to be a city councilman, let alone the governor of Minnesota or the vice president of the United States. So that's a win, at least. That's a win. But anyway, this guy Douglas was sending out tweets in 2015 or 2016. And I guess it turns out that where was the number? They had a number of people that actually texted this number with their vote, and I'm not seeing it here anymore. It must have been in a different article I read about it. There was a significant amount of people that believed this guy and text their vote. He was anti-Hillary. So he was running a campaign promoting Hillary, but telling people to vote for her by text message. I don't remember this. Do you guys remember this? I don't remember. I don't remember hearing about him getting arrested. I don't remember hearing anything about the trial, but it appears that the FBI investigated him after he was telling people to vote by text and said that was election interference. Good morning, Seattle, says Epstein client list over under 100 days after swearing in. He's on the list. If he releases the Epstein list, it'll be heavily redacted. Yes or no? Did Trump drain the swamp? Because we've been through this before, right, guys? Right? MAGA. We did this one time already. Drain the swamp. Did that? Wait. Is the swamp still full? Oh, I'm pretty sure Hillary was going to go to jail, right? Was that what was going to happen when Clinton or when Trump won last time? Hillary was going to jail. We're going to put her in jail, right? Or did they have dinner the next night? I don't remember. Is there a hole in the bottom of Washington D.C.? Is all the swamp rats gone? Or I know what happened. He drained the swamp, and then when he lost, it filled back up. Right? Is that what happened? I've been asleep for the last 4 years, guys. 8 years. I don't know. All I remember, the last thing was I felt my savior had come. That Donald Trump was elected and he was going to drain the swamp. And then I went to sleep for 8 years. What happened, guys? Mike Homestead says, at least we got rid of Obamacare. Uh-huh. Sure did, right? Orange man good. Jesus fucking Christ. Over under on Ross Ulbricht getting out of jail in the next 4 years. Yes or no? Yes, no. I guess over under we need a number of days. 4 years. Because that'll be prior to him leaving office. Usually the pardons happen within the last in that time period in January, between January 1st and January 20th, when the new president comes in. They sign a bunch of EOs and they release people from prison. Will everybody forget by then? Will all those people that were only voting because he's going to free Ross, will they forget by then? Will it just get put on the back burner? Was it lip service to the Bitcoin community because he saw fucking Kamala Harris just trash on it and piss them all off? And he can circle back and win points by saying he's going to save their hero. If he was so vested in Ross Ulbricht, why didn't he let him out the last time he was in office? Do you think Biden goes, I'm going to fuck him over. I'm going to do it first? I don't care anyway. As long as the guy gets out of jail, Good. But I think you might be barking up the wrong fucking tree if you put your eggs in Trump's basket to let Ross out of jail. He had 4 years to do it before. We've seen this before. Trump's going to bring in Elon and Ron Paul and RFK Jr. You're gonna bring them all in. We're gonna save the world, right? We're gonna be like Bukhali and start investing in Bitcoin and draining the swamp and cutting programs and lowering taxes, right? Take the drone bombings up to warp speed, red flag laws, Fauci ouchie. Yeah. Bump stocks. But it's better than Kamala. I voted for the lesser of two evils. Good for you. I didn't vote for either of the fuckers. You want to say hi? I don't know if you can do it from there. There's my beautiful bride. Pip says, even if Trump does all that, it's only a few years later when the next dude put it all back. God, are you sexist or something? Why is it gotta be a dude? Corey says she thinks Oprah should run next time. She said the country wasn't ready for a black woman. I said the country wasn't ready for that black woman. And she said maybe Oprah should run. Oprah would win. I don't know how they haven't run her yet. Is she just not interested? Does she got too many skeletons? Is she too comfortable in what she's doing? She just doesn't even need to bother with it. I don't know. Is Trump donating his salary again this time? Or did he lose so much money over the last 4 years? When will the lawsuits start? It's a new day for America, guys. It's a new day for America. You guys like spiders? Have you ever thought about spiders? Oh, that's right. Sorry, Pip. Pip says, hey, now dude is not a sex term. Per wiki, we did a This Day in History segment on it. Dudette was phased out. How dare you assume her gender anyway? Coming to Tennessee, we've experienced a lot more spiders. There's ones that'll kill you here. There's Good Burger. Pip's bringing up Good Burger. I mean, the movie Good Burger. I'm a dude. She's a dude. We're all dudes. Yeah. Moved down here to Tennessee. Lots of spiders. Hold on a second. Why? Oh, fuck. There we go. Sorry, something got messed up with my screens yesterday during all my interviews, and I couldn't read half the messages over here. Spiders have started to intrigue me. Didn't think much of them when we were in Minnesota. We didn't have a whole lot of them to begin with. They would die in the winter. But coming down to Tennessee, there are a bunch of spiders. There's large spiders. There's poisonous spiders. I guess venomous spiders. I don't know. Are spiders poisonous or venomous? Like black widows, brown recluse. But yeah, the orb spiders, the ones that make these huge webs. When you shine your headlamp out in the woods when we're at the cabin, and you shine your headlamp in the woods in the middle of the night, you see all the eyes. It's pretty creepy. You're constantly walking through spider webs from the night before. But they're really cool. Brian, good morning, Seattle says spiders on drugs. Webs are cool. Webs are really cool. Looking at the webs, seeing them in the morning when we walk the dogs, as the sun will come up, the webs will have moisture on them. They'll kind of glisten, and you can see them. Enormous webs. I happen to be scrolling through this weird facts page that I follow. And they started talking about spiders, and they talked about ballooning, and I knew a little bit about this. I had heard about it before, but I clicked on the article, and it was really fascinating how spiders do this, and it made me wonder if you could just throw a line up into the atmosphere and take a ride. And you might go 100 feet, you might go 100 miles, or you might go 10,000 miles. You don't know. You don't know where you're going to land. You don't know if it's going to be a habitat you can live in. You don't know if it's going to be even dry land. You could land in the middle of the ocean. Would you do it? So ballooning, sometimes called kiting, is the process where spiders and even some other small invertebrates, they'll move through the air. They basically send up a web or several webs. They lay on their back, and they shoot up the webs into the breeze, and the breeze will pick up, and it will actually float them like parasails. Good morning, Seattle says, with Charlotte's Web's kids. Yeah, Charlotte's Web was fucking cool. That pig was a pig pig. Anyway, ballooning, spiders they'll shoot their webs up into the air, and it'll catch the breeze, and it'll be picked up. It's primarily used by young spiders to kind of disperse to populate. I imagine was naturally how it's come. But they'll basically climb up into trees or climb up somewhere high, lay on their back, shoot this web into the air, and get caught in the breeze. They can go anywhere from where was the so the wind, the updrafts will get them up, and it'll keep pushing them up. The static charges in the air actually interact with the web and hold them in the air, and they can control it a little bit, but basically they're at the mercy of the atmosphere. Journeys end after just a few meters of travel normally, but spiders have been found by weather balloons hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet up in the air. Samples taken by weather balloons out over the ocean. Sailors will find them on ships, landing in the ships. Man, what literally a leap of faith, where a spider just shoots its web up into the air, and it could fly to the next tree, or it could fly to the next country, or it could fly up into the atmosphere and never come back, because it said the majority of them that end up in the sky end up getting eaten by birds. And I just thought it was a fascinating thing with nature. I don't know. That's about it. I'm digging into spiders more. I'm kind of geeking out on them just because of the area coming here and experiencing the big orb spiders are really cool. I didn't really ever notice any of those in Minnesota. They're very big, eccentric looking spiders, and the webs they make are phenomenal. We didn't have any of this stuff, and along with the snakes, looking into snakes too. But it was interesting that I was kind of going down that spider road, and all of a sudden, here on my weird facts page comes up ballooning. Would you do it? Would you do it? Would you fly? If you could shoot silk out of your ass and take a ride on the jet stream, where would you hope to land? I hope to land in El Salvador with a 12-word phrase in my brain. Oh, so what do we think, guys? Is Bitcoin going to keep going up with the installation of Orange Man? Is it because he's the Orange Man? Orange Man good for Orange Coin? We're gonna stick with the same ducks. I can't see changing the ducks when we're up 7%. We'll keep sailing along. Sailor duck and red star duck, I think, are going to do the job. We're going to stick with them for the rest of the day. We'll see how the rest of the day goes. And I don't think I saw anybody. Is this election done? I don't know. I saw all the headlines that Trump was declared. I saw all the MAGA people, all the MAGNA people were excited, posting their shit. All the Kamala people were upset, reeling from the loss. But is this going to be a gotcha? Is this shit going to trickle on for days, and all of a sudden they're going to be like, well, we found a bunch of ballots that weren't counted in Pennsylvania. Is this going to go on for months? Is it close enough that they can make it what they want? Good morning, Seattle says Cackles literally ran away, and Trump did his victory speech without even mentioning her. Will they sue him, though? Sue me, sue me, sue me. Nobody owns the water, man. Pip says not months, years. Good morning, Seattle says she needs to crawl out this AM and say sorry to her team. I don't know about that. I think they put her in the position. She just accepted. I don't see where she was just like, yeah, I'm running. I have to feel that it was the other way around. They realized, and is Joe still around? Is Mr. Biden still around? Sniffy Joe? I haven't heard anything from him in a while. Have they got him locked up? They got him just licking ice cream, wait until the end of January? Is he going to do anything big in the next couple months? Does Trump have to serve a jail sentence before he becomes president? These are all the big questions I have. I'll have to look them up and circle back tomorrow. It's episode 800, guys, and It is what it is. We'll keep rolling. Take the rides as Antarctica. Good morning, Seattle. Says she left a park full of people standing in the rain till 2 a.m., then ran away with a headache. The fact, so here's the deal. If they were fucking stupid enough to be standing in the rain till 2 in the morning, they got what they deserved. I mean, really? Oh. It seems it all seems asinine to me. All seems pretty asinine to me. Anyway, let's wrap it up here. Hopefully Orange Man good and Blue Girl bad, blah blah blah. I hope everything. I hope he actually comes through with his promise and lets Ross out of jail. That would be good. He had 4 years to release Julian Assange. He had 4 years to release Ross Ulbricht, and neither happened. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Epstein's client list, Clinton in jail, Diddy in jail. When's Diddy die? Does Diddy die now because all the blackmail they used on all his celebrity friends didn't work? Are they all off the hook? Does that disappear now? Does Diddy just fade away? Good morning, Seattle says, I hope the riots stay downtown. Cheap real estate after the fact. Is our cities burning? I haven't even looked yet. The first thing I just was like, oh, Trump won, man. Okay, whatever. I don't fucking care. It's just another Wednesday. Are the cities burning yet? Have they woke up and realized that that Orange Man won? Pip says, since when does blackmail ever end? When they don't have a payout. Like, if you're blackmailing somebody for money and they don't have any money, like, what's the point? Did he do it? Did he do it? Did he do her? Did he do? Did he dumb? Have a great day, guys. We'll circle back. We'll talk about shit other than the political shit show. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad it's not gonna stream on for months and months and months. Yeah, right. All right, guys, have a fantastic day. Get over the hump. Have a very productive one. Get back into the swing of things. Everything is going to be peaches and sunshine now that the Orange Man has been elected. So go about your day, get things done, and we will talk to you tomorrow.